Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for your mercy and your grace. We ask tonight for your presence to be in this place. We ask for peace, a supernatural peace that only you can give us. We ask for your wisdom, your guidance. We ask for you to speak to each and every one of our hearts tonight as we discuss some serious issues going on in our city that affects so many families and so many people in our community and the surrounding area, even my family. We pray, God, that you will help each and every one of our city council members. Just give them a special touch tonight as they go through this difficult situation, we pray. We thank you, Lord, for what you're going to do. And one more time, we ask for your presence to be here tonight. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a large turnout tonight. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We will get into the agenda here shortly. First, I'd like to recognize some people. Here on our left, we have Billy Pat Wright from Senator Doug Lieber's office. We have Debbie Griffin from Congressman Jason Smith's office. We have Andrew McDaniel, our representative from 150th District, State of Missouri. We also have present our County Commission, Presiding Commissioner Don Collins, Commissioner Ron Huber, and Patrick McCaney, and a host of other people we won't take time to introduce tonight, but thank you very much for being here. We're going to reverse our agenda tonight. Normally we have this type of discussion tail end, but we're going to make it first tonight. First off, we share your shock and pain. I found out late Friday that our local hospital was going to close. That affects Kennett, Dunklin County, and most of all the employees that work at the hospital. The City Council is working in partnership with the Dunklin County Commission to deal with the closing of the hospital. This is a crisis for our region. Not only are we facing the loss of critical health care services in our community, we're also facing the loss of a major employer and many jobs. The economic impact could be very severe. We will come together to find a solution to provide families and individuals in our region access to quality health care services in Kennett. We have a small group working now to look at what our options are, including potential partners and programs that provide medical services we must have. Once we have an idea of our options, that group will be expanded to include more people. All options are being looked at. We will find a solution together. Our Economic Development Coordinator, Director Jim Grieving, has been working hard all weekend. I contacted him. He was going out for a scout camp. And I know he worked hard all weekend in addition to other activities he had. He's been in contact with Linda Fitzgerald with the Missouri Department of Economic Development, Division of Workforce Development. She will be working to provide assistance to those who will lose the jobs. We've had various suggestions already put forth. One was kind of interesting. One gentleman suggested that Dunklin County needed to look at passing a 2% hospital tax. That too will be looked at. At this stage, I know this is hard to do, but I suggest you take a step back, get a good deep breath, and let those working on the problem come up with the solutions and a viable solution. With that, I will shut up and invite anyone from the audience that would like to speak. please come forward to the mic, and if you would, limit your discussion to approximately 3 minutes. We'll give everybody an opportunity that wants to speak.
Why not? Why break a streak? First off, I'm Dr. Chancellor Wayne. That the council does meet the first and third Tuesday of every month. It would be awesome to see this type of group at every single meeting, not just for the hospital. But when it comes down to the hospital, one aspect that you have to look at is price. All right, myself, I don't send anybody to this hospital. The main reason, a lot of my patients are cash patients. And even if you use the MD Save, it's still cheaper to go out of town. Cost in point, I needed a patient that needed a right shoulder MRI. The hospitals charge $5 grand. Paying cash, they would take 60%. They said $2,600. My patient who worked at Trinity, his deductible is the beginning of the year, deductible had not been met, he had $2,400 in his HSA account. He's like, that's going to wipe me out for the entire year. What else can we find? So what did I do? I sent him to Piggott. Piggott did the MRI that Saturday. The cost was either $750 or $780. It was under $800 for the entire right shoulder MRI with reading, and the notes and the reading was in my email box, Monday morning whenever I got there. Back in December, I came down with the flu. Thought I was going into pneumonia. So I wrote myself a script, went over there, had a double-sided, front and side view, chest view, because I don't have a chest film at my office. Do more bone structures. $74 was what my cost was for a 2-view x-ray with reading from the hospital over there. You can't get that at this hospital here. All right, so whenever you're dealing in a rural community that is on a fixed budget, that either their insurance doesn't cover it, because like guys, Obamacare cuts out so many different facilities, you can't use very many of them. And it cuts out so much, especially if you have Pathway X. It's just unridiculous on how much it cuts out. But yes, you do have health coverage, but only for major medical. I mean, catastrophic. You're having a heart attack. Something major is going wrong, but otherwise you don't have any coverage at all. So you're looking at cash patients. And yes, the hospital here did start that. You got involved with that MD Save, but I called them up just to make sure what it all entailed a year and a half ago, because they came to Kiwanis and gave their speech about using MD Save for up there. And the guy on the other end from Kennett here told me right then, if you pull it up, and I did, they still weren't the cheapest. He goes, yeah, you can go over to Dyersburg and save another $150. Piggott's not even listed. Their prices are a lot different. And you get good service. The hospital is clean. And the people treat you really well over there. Not to say the people here don't treat you well, but when you can't afford to go to it, you can't afford to go to it. So we lose tax money from people going in there, paying their bill and paying that tax. We lose people having to drive out of town. So all those different aspects that, this hospital's never taken that into an account. So, however, I know this council has 99.9% of nothing to do with the hospital. I mean, you guys, there's no one up here that, this was your decision. So, but hopefully, y'all have the influence to go forward with whoever comes in, takes over the hospital up through here, is to make sure that it does stay a cost-effective viability, so that I would much rather send my patients 3 miles across town than 18 miles on the other end of town, or in another state. So, thank you.
Thank you. Who would like to be next?
Rosemary Peltz, and I've worked at the hospital for a long time. Yes, we are expensive, but that's not what we choose to be. But is this on? Is it on? Okay. I know we're not perfect. I know we are expensive, but I'm telling you, we saved a lot of lives at this hospital. If we could get better management, maybe the prices could be better. But we have saved so many lives. if you guys have a family member that's having a heart attack, you don't have time to go out of town. And we've got to have something here, whether it be a big hospital or a small hospital. We cannot let this community go down without one. We need the service. People need jobs. Even if we have a smaller hospital, we know some will lose their jobs. We're fine with that. We don't want to lose a hospital in this town. It needs it desperately. So please think about all the options, what we can do, where we can go, if there's grants, but we need to work together and try to get something back to our hometown.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kim Cannon. I've worked at the hospital now my whole career. Started there in 2001. And yes, we are very well aware that our prices were outrageous. That started because we are a for-profit organization, and they figured out that we get paid a % of charges by Medicare and Medicaid, and that's who used our facility. 80% of our business was Medicare and Medicaid, and so corporate America was there to make money, and so that's how we made our money. We were aware of that situation. We lost all of our commercial business. There was nothing we could do about it. We went to corporate and administration many times. They heard us, but we are a Fortune 500 company, and the bottom line was the bottom dollar. I don't go to Walmart, I don't go to the gas station that I don't see someone that has been impacted positively by our facility. The gas station today, I saw a lady that would have lost her life had we not been here. This is devastating. Not only to the people losing our jobs, it is devastating to this whole community. There are lots of people. We have bad stories. Everyone does. We're not trying to say we don't. But you have homegrown people that are vested here. We are a family. That's the difference between us and Jonesboro or Cape or Paragould. We want to go back to being a county-owned hospital. We want to be the family-owned business that we need to be. That's the kind of people that we have there. Unfortunately, we cannot go without jobs. We can't survive on unemployment until something can be done. And CHS doesn't care at this point. So yes, we're desperate. We're asking for help. And that's all I've got to say.
Thank you.
I don't guess if anybody upper management of CHS here, like the CEO.
No, just show up. They still have one.
My name is Cindy Anderson, and I used to work at the hospital. I don't work there anymore, but this hospital is very essential for this area. There are so many people that can't go anywhere else, and the fact is, 2 months ago, if this hospital hadn't been here, my husband wouldn't be here today. At 4 o'clock in the morning, he woke me up and told me he couldn't breathe. I called 911 within 5 minutes from him telling me that he couldn't breathe. By the time the first responders got there, he was out of it. He didn't know anything. They got him to the hospital. They put him on a vent. He was sent to Jonesboro. He was in ICU for 4 days. He's with me now. That will not happen if this hospital goes away, or a hospital somewhere. These people care. They really do care. And there are a lot of people that don't have the option to go anywhere else. This is a poor community. There are people that don't have cars. There are people that walk to the different clinics to get help, to see the doctor. We have got to have something here, and I am one that will stand here and tell you that if this hospital is gone, there will be a lot of lives lost. A lot of lives lost.
Thank you.
I'm Michelle Raspberry. I'm the director of the Dunklin County Caring Council. Our primary concern is children, and I actually kind of wanted to piggyback on something that she said. Since January, the Caring Council has had to deny 112 people requests for gas cards for transportation to another facility. Those folks basically, without having the hospital here, they're not going to be seen. We just got our new stats in from Kids Count. We're one of the absolute worst in the state for low birth weight infants. We have 11.5% of all infants born in Dunklin County are low birth weight. Those children often need immediate attention, and driving 15 miles, 30 miles, 60 miles is often not an option. And again, we also take care of a lot of cancer patients. Since January, we've provided over $6,000 in assistance to cancer patients because they don't have the resources to get to and from their appointments. We have some that fortunately were seen here. Now that's not going to be an option. And again, my focus is mainly the kids, and the low birth weight infants is a huge concern for me. There's 114 counties in Missouri. We rank 112.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As the mayor said, we will stick together as a community and overcome this. You know, these folks that's losing their jobs, I'm sorry, doctor, but they didn't build the building. It's that corporate greed where everything comes from. That's not the problem. And if we don't stick behind our good people and help our good people, the only way we're all going to overcome this is just like we are right here tonight, is stick together as a community. The need from this hospital, I mean, the jobs and the ripple effect from the job from this hospital goes a lot farther than most anybody knows. But I personally, firsthand, my colon ruptured one night. And I went to this hospital, and only because of this hospital is I'm able to stand here and talk to you today. But I just want to compliment all of the employees. I have cancer, and I've been in a lot of hospitals for a lot of different things, and I've never received any better care than I did at this hospital, and any more compassionate care than I did from this hospital. And you can't just let that go under your feet and say, oh, well, it's just a, you know, Emerson Electric left, so big deal. Well, that was a big deal, but this is a catastrophic deal. This is everybody. It's not only these folks' livelihoods, it's our lives. And it was my life one night. And if it hadn't been for Dr. Jane and a young surgeon that just happened to come in here, I would not be standing here. I don't have a solution. The problem didn't start here. It started in some damn corporate, pardon my English, headquarters somewhere. And I'll bet you not one of them has missed a paycheck or missed a bonus at all of these folks' expense. So let's pull our heels together and do like the mayor said, we'll overcome this. But we got to do it as a community. We can't go around pointing the finger at other people saying, well, it's your fault. It's nobody here's fault. And it's just a bad situation. And I hope as a community we can come together and come up with a resolution. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, feel opposed to speak at this time rather than at the appointed time for the fire report. As fire chief, we started a first responder program in the city for a number of reasons, and hopefully it's panned out for what's happened here. We see a lot of trauma through vehicle accidents, not just in Kennett, but in the surrounding area. We see a lot of medical emergencies that take place. Each year, we recognize some of those first responders' actions that have saved over the last 5 years. Each year, we've recognized someone who had to have cardiopulmonary resuscitation, an AED shock, made it to the hospital and survived. may have been transferred out to a higher level of care and came home and is a viable citizen in this community today. What concerns me is there's a thing called the golden hour that they teach you in emergency medicine, and that is from the time it's discovered either a medical emergency or a traumatic injury. You got 1 hour to get that person packaged up and transferred to a higher level of care other than just an ambulance and first responders. We're going to see that hour creep on us a lot more with the further distance we have in transporting. We have a good set of medics and EMTs in this area, but they're only limited to what they've got in the back of that ambulance. We were fortunate enough that most of our time we could get them within 20, 30 minutes to a local hospital. We're very fortunate. I was proud many years ago when a survival flight positioned themselves in Kennett, realizing that we was not really a level 1 trauma, but we were a hospital with a staffed ER that could at least stabilize a patient to get them out within that hour or even 2 to a number of these higher hospitals. With that said, I would ask the citizens of Kennett, I'm not a salesperson and I'm not any invested interest other than I bought my membership. You need to look at a membership in one of the 2, either air evac, survival flight, because in severe trauma or medical emergencies, with a clinic that'll be open Monday through Friday, you're not going to get those needs. You're going to need to be taken to a higher level of medical care as soon as you can and as quick as you can. And so with that, I plead to the public right now, protect you and your family. Look at that. We're still going to be on the front line as first responders, and we're going to do, I didn't know several weeks ago, we went through several higher level care medical training, not even knowing that this was coming down, but I'm glad now that we've done it, that we'll be there as a fire department to still respond as a first responder medical care, and along with our Medic One EMS system. It is going to put a burden on a lot of people. We have a high population of what I would say is retired and elderly who choose not to live in a nursing home, but to live their life out in their home. And these people, a lot of times, are the ones that need extra medical attention periodically because of either breathing, COPD, or some heart ailment or whatever. Now, their only choice is that hour travel time to a higher level of care. And so it is devastating to the community, but we're going to do what we can to serve our community, and hopefully we can band together and see something positive come out of it. Thank you. Go ahead.
What I want to know is how come it was Friday before the paper and the article on Tuesday, why we had no warning. Those people who owned the hospital knew months ago they were considering this. We have a right to know what's going on in that circumstance. If the city council didn't know it, we didn't know it, then why didn't anybody know about it? Why do you have to wake up one morning and it's going to happen that day or the next day or that month?
People that knew out here, they didn't come. The CEO didn't come. That's the problem.
He didn't come here tonight either. He's scared, afraid to come.
The CEO knew 3 weeks ago when he transferred to Poplar Bluff. Yep. He knew. That corporation had a lack of communication from the time I stepped
I don't live here yet, but as an outsider and somebody that's fixing to move back to Kennett, it's very sad to see what's going on here, and I just want to say I'm sorry. Do what? No. But don't sell your house. Hey, be proud of your town. Step up and do what we got to do to come together, and let's do something about this, all right? the thing is, everybody can talk about the county stepping up and doing a tax and doing whatever they want to do to try to buy this hospital out. Or you can try to get the richest person that you know to buy the hospital out. But the problem is, if the hospital's not going to take a $23 million deal for it, then who's going to do it, right? So the problem's not that the hospital can't be bought. They're not going to sell. So the thing is, Poplar Bluff is where they're wanting all their money to go. So I propose, to be honest, and y'all can laugh at me, do whatever you want to, but I propose that we as citizens of this area, and I'm counting myself as that because we're about to be, I say we get people in Dunklin County to start a nonprofit hospital, because I'm just going to be honest, if you rent your house out or if you own your house, who's going to take better care of your house, yours or somebody you rent it to, right? This is our city, this is our county, and who's going to take better care of the people that live here than us, right? So if we get vested in a hospital ourselves, it's going to be a lot better than somebody in corporate that's going to be in Tennessee owning it. Correct? Yeah, correct. All right. That's just something I propose.
Well, he pretty much said exactly what I wanted you guys to know. We're not here because we support CHS. None of us support CHS. We've worked there for about 3-4 years. I don't even know how long they've owned us. But we have consistently gone downhill. They've let all of our doctors go. They let all of our care go. You know, we have survived on just the bare bones of what they would give us. And, you know, it took me, I've been doing a lot of reading on Facebook and seeing what people's been putting out there. And it took me a long time to really understand what is going on with CHS. You know, I mean, I was naive enough to just think, you know, they were just being stubborn and they didn't want to sell us. But CHS's goal in this whole thing is to close us. They don't want another hospital here. They don't want other businesses here. Their goal is they want to put one doctor's office here, funnel all their people through that doctor's office, and funnel them to Poplar Bluff. They've built an $8 million hospital. They have to be able to support that. They are not interested in what we want. You know, I live in Hornersville. I don't even live here in Kennett. But we need Kennett. My dad was saved because of Kennett Hospital. I could go on. Everybody has all kinds of tales about Dr. Jane. Without Dr. Jane, we would be in a lot of trouble. But that being said, we also have other, Dr. Beach is a good doctor, Dr. Landry, you know, Dr. Perez. We have many good doctors who care about this community. And so I just want you to understand that we can't do anything without y'all. You know, we're going to have to go back to a nonprofit where the people care. The corporations do not care. And it doesn't matter to them that your dad may die because he couldn't get to the hospital in time.
Thank you.
I just got a question. Could the city attorney not file an injunction to not close it until there was like a third-party study done?
That'll be something to be looked at. I think it would be next to, to be honest with you, it would be next to impossible.
Okay, but I mean, you know, if you tie them up in court, they're going to sell.
I'll look in. I'll look into it. Be glad to. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, hey, hey!
I just want to say, what is going on in our town? They took away Emerson from us, the grocery stores are leaving. Now they want to get rid of the hospital. We need love and understanding. We got to stick together and try to save these things. And then we got a good story right here. Look at all the people out here that's got a concern about this. And we need to save our town. people was telling me today, well, if you get sick, call 911. 911 come pick me up, take me to Jonesboro. Thank God I got a husband with a car. I may be able to get back home. But what about these poor people that don't have a car and they call 911? They take them to Papa Bluff, Jonesboro, or Dyersburg. Then how will they get home? How will they be able to get home? So let's pray. We need God in this. Not just to come up here and say how we feel, but we're going to need prayer and love and ask God to help us with this. Because we're going to need all the help we can. We need our hospital. What if we have a heart attack right now and the hospital's gone? We may die before we get to Dyersburg or Papa Bluff. And we don't want to lose our lives just because we're not sticking together. And then I said, now, I may be using the wrong word, but what about the big wheels? Can't they do something to help us? I always said big wheels was for people with money, but we need everybody to stick together, the big wheels, the little wheels, and all the wheels. So let's do something to save our hospital.
This doesn't affect just the city of Kennett. This affects Dunklin County. So commissioners, listen up. Congressman Jason Smith's office, listen up. This affects everybody. We're a family and we're going to go to the wind. Our house values in Kennett are now worthless. Who wants to move to Kennett that doesn't have a hospital? We don't have industry, we have nothing. And I laughingly told that guy, please buy my house, because I can't sell it now if I wanted to. I'm stuck. And you, Mayor, mentioned on the news that we may have to bring property taxes back. So now, I'm jobless, and I'm gonna get taxed. Golly gee, could it get any better? You know, we are suffering, but like she said, people are going to die in this town for nothing more than they're poor. I'm fortunate enough, hopefully, you know, I will find another job. I'm probably going to have to travel nurse because that's the only thing I can do. But I'm going to stay in Kennett, mainly because I can't sell my house, you know. I'll be honest with you, I got the nicest house in the neighborhood. I'll be nice. But nobody's coming to Kennett. There's nothing here. Nobody's coming to Dunklin County, folks. There's nothing here. If you're not a farmer, there's nothing here. And we've got to change that. You as our council members, you as our commission, and you as our congresspeople have to help us. We're willing to put in the work. We have worked hard against odds you people don't know that corporate America has put in our way. CMS, which is Medicare and Medicaid for those of you who don't know, grade us now like a motel. 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. Do you know Kennett Hospital is a almost 4-star hospital? We did that. The employees of that hospital did that. Did we have the equipment to do it with? No. Were roadblocks put in our way? Every stinking day. But we did it. Just know, Poplar Bluff's a 1-star. That's where corporate America is putting their money, in the 1-star hospital, because they're fancy and new. Fancy and new does not necessarily provide you with good care. We dug our heels in, we delivered babies, we have took care of some of you when your lives depended on it, and we succeeded. Now we need you to help us. help us. Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members, for allowing me to speak here, putting this all together. I'd like to start by not placing blame upon those that have done this to our community, but instead move forward in a positive manner. The blame game isn't necessary. It won't fix this disastrous of a mess soon to come in a couple months. I'd also like to say the hospital is near and dear to my heart for multiple reasons, which I believe is the same reason the rest of the community is here tonight. As I know, and I don't have to tell each one of you the vast importance of what's going on, the devastation that will soon follow. So it's upon us, the community, to do what's right for the best of the citizens of this city, this county, and all our visitors. I may be just a poor boy from Pemiscot, but if I had the money, I'd invest it myself. I'll at least donate to the cause. I'm willing to sit down with whomever to have the discussion to help any possible way allowed by law, because when it shuts, it's going to be tough for the bureaucracies, the red tape that everybody's going to have to go back through for opening it up or reopening a new facility. I'd be glad to help speed those processes up. I've reached out to several other elected officials, some of which are here. I'm glad to see they've sent somebody on their behalf. Others I'm waiting for responses from, such as the corporate people as well. I know emotions are running high at this point, as they should be, but I believe this is wholeheartedly that more can be done locally here than on the state or the federal level. I say this because corporate America is out for itself and out for the communities, does not have the community's best interest in mind. And as I believe, as each person in this room does, I'm the same on this situation. So the council doesn't think I'm putting the frustration towards you. The more I dig, the more my blood pressure is going to rise. So it is my hope that buyers and CHS will sell at a decent cost to those that are willing to invest and not hold the facility hostage, because they've already got on my bad side. And when I get to going, I guarantee you I won't stop. I'll keep following their money, tying them to more people, be it political, lobbyists, or whatever. I don't care to throw them people under the bus, and even if they're a member of my own party. We're going to get this fixed one way or another. So if there was a representative here from the corporate office, I would like to hear from them, but I don't think I am. You may try to fool us once, but you're not going to fool us twice. And my phone number for anybody that wants to have meetings about this, you can write it down. It's 559-9857. I'm always willing to help. I don't care about political affiliations on any of this, no matter what. But I will do what's ever in my power on the state level to help this process, and also CHS better stay out of my way.
My name is Rebecca Peck, and when this lady in the purple spoke, well, something came to my mind, and she said, you know, why are we just now finding out about this? And, you know, so now we're all here because we care and we're concerned. But what no one has emphasized here is this is an emergency. We do not have time. CHS is misleading the community by saying July 31st. That makes you think we've got some time to come up with a solution, and we don't. And I've been given to understand that May 22nd, 21st, 3 weeks from now, almost everything out there will be gone. Everything. It's not July 31st. So they're misleading us again. They didn't give us time to come up with solutions, and they're not, and it's all done deliberate. I mean, it's a corporation, and they're a business, and they're going to make money. This hospital is 65, 66 years old, and they've run it in the ground in 4 years, and they've kept us all in the dark. So I just wanted to emphasize, I don't know what can be done, but I want everyone to know here, this is an emergency. It's not July 31st. It's not.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Tanya Swink, and I've been in healthcare for 38 years. And I've heard a lot about money and taxes and economics. Well, corporate America's taken that away from us. That's not something that the hospital's done, the townspeople have done. That's somebody coming here from somewhere else and taking it away from us. Heart attack patients are not going to make it. Stroke victims are not going to make it, or they're going to have severe debilities. We are the #1 mortality rate for infants in the state of Missouri. We have abruptions, ruptures, fetal distress that's not going to make it an hour. I mean, we've got to have some kind of services here for our community and the surrounding communities. It's not just Kennett, it's Zenith, Hornersville, Cardwell, Haytop, Hemascott. I mean, you're looking at people that come from all over, and we share that. We share the scares and we share the problems, but we also need to work together to get this back together.
I look around and I see a lot of people that I know. And what really the worst part about this is, where do they get on setting prices? Has anybody noticed the prices this hospital sets on certain things? I mean, do they think that we're St. Louis? They think we're Memphis? No. You know, they charge for an MRI almost $14,000 for an MRI on a shoulder. I know because I just had one done. Exactly. No, I'm not blaming you guys. It's them. I was in a car wreck, brought to Kennett, had my appendix, had to be taken out right then. Greatest bunch of nurses I've ever had. You guys did great. But some of these costs are ridiculous. And I'm not saying everybody does it, but I know some of us go out of town to get stuff done because we can't afford what's right here. We lose the hospital, nothing's going to come here. I mean, I have to drive an hour to work because there ain't really a lot around here. I mean, I don't enjoy driving an hour to work, an hour home, working 12-hour days. And then I help out with John on the fire department. We get a medical call for somebody having a heart attack or a stroke. They don't know how long they've been down. They could have been in their backyard, somebody walked by and see them. They could have already been down for 20 minutes, a half hour. The golden hour's gone. I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, we've got to look at something like somebody said. There should be able for the lawyers to get together to maybe file an injunction to where it can't be closed. There's got to be something done. Our representatives, I mean, do they look at one area that they make a lot of money? Can the state look into that? Can Congress look into it? Why they charge a small community like this an outrageous amount? Yeah. But yeah. Piggott, they use a mobile MRI. When they put the boot on my shoulder, I'm a big guy, I ain't gonna lie. But when they put the boot on my shoulder, it's about that much wider. I couldn't fit in the machine. So I had to go over to Kennett to get it done. Over almost $14,000 for an MRI on a shoulder. I don't know if maybe the states can do anything. federal can do anything, but prices need to be looked at. People can't pay that kind of amount. They're sitting there, if they set the community up to fail, nurses are losing their job, LPNs, doctors. I mean, I'm gonna have to find a new doctor now because my doctor is part of the hospital. So now, does that mean I have to go out of town now? More than likely. More than likely a lot of us are. I can tell you right now, there's RNs in here and LPNs in here that could go other places and make way more money, but they choose to stay here because they love this community.
Those that came forward and spoke, I want to thank you. We've got one more coming up here.
We've heard a lot of good stories from a lot of good people, a lot of bad stories about things that's going on. And we've heard about lack of communication with corporate to us. My question to you guys is, what are you guys going to do about this? Okay? We can't stop this now. It's done. They're closing us. July 31st, midnight's the last time we're going to see an ER patient. It's done. So now what are you guys going to do to help fix this?
Thank you. No one else, there's one bit of information I'd like to share with the employees of the hospital. The Missouri Department of Economic Development will be bringing its employee transition team to Kennett next week to hold meetings with hospital employees who will be losing their jobs. The purpose is to make everyone aware of the programs and services that are available at the state, local, federal level for dislocated workers and how to access them. Topics will include applying for unemployment insurance, job search assistance through the Missouri Job Center in Kennett, educational opportunities available to help workers develop new skills that will increase the likelihood of employment or provide the chance to pursue a new career path, assistance preparing resumes, contact with employers looking for new workers, incentives available for employers for hiring dislocated workers, and other services. These employee transition meetings are very helpful and should answer many of the questions you will have. The dates and times will be announced in the next few days. As Jim Griebing gets the information, he will make that available. Try to answer Jamie Chester's question, what are we doing? One thing I can assure you that is taking place, you may not see it firsthand, but it is happening. The people involved are having meetings, we're gathering information, we're trying to figure out exactly what the options we have in the future. We're not going to take this laying down. I can assure you that it will be an ongoing process until we do get a solution. We're not going to give up on Kennett and Dunklin County. Very much appreciate you coming out. A little bit of this personal deal. I can share your pain. In 1958, I stood where you stand. I was laid off in Paris, Texas, along with 499 other employees. It's a life changer. So we understand what you're feeling. We understand what your needs are. We understand what the community needs are. And we will not rest until we get a resolution to this. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. I have been a nurse at the hospital for over 26 years. You're telling us what the community is going to do for us. That's fine. This does affect me because I'm losing my job. That's not why I'm here. I am here because first and foremost, my job as a nurse is to be a patient advocate. And my job is to protect these patients in Dunklin County that's not going to receive their care because there is no hospital here. So I just wanted to say that because, as you can see, there's a large hospital presence here. And first and foremost, that's what we're trying to protect is our patients in Dunklin County.
Absolutely. Somebody else.
Hi, I'm Carrie Pritchett. I work at the Wound Center with Dr. Steve Pooh.
And I guess the big picture is we need a hospital. I don't feel like CHS is willing to sell the hospital personally. That's my opinion. I feel like what we need to do as a community is look at how we're going to build a new facility. I mean, I think that's where the mindset needs to go. That will take us out from under CHS's thumb. That will also open up doors to we have a lot of wasted space at the hospital. The hospital is not in any kind of shape to go on for any amount of time. So I think a new facility is the best route. So when people are talking about it and to getting a plan in place, I wish their mindset would go to a new facility versus trying to sweep in and recoup that facility. That's all I wanted to say.
Just one thing. On that, I think it's a great idea. The one thing we're going to have to look at is what are we going to do in the meantime.
Yes.
Because people here are going to need care in the meantime. Building a new facility, not only takes a long time to build it, you got to go through the certificate of need process, you got to go through a long paperwork process to get, so you can get approval for it. So I think that's the best idea, is to do that. But we also have to work on a solution on what's going to bridge the gap between this hospital closing and getting care to people before new gets built.
If the people that can financially invest, I feel like if they could supply an emergency access, ER,
yes,
or whatever,
that's something we're going to have.
Absolutely.
We're going to have to look at both things.
And then get that up and running as they proceed to build additions to the hospital critically. Make that choice. What's the need here? You know, OB services is detrimental in this area.
Yeah, we got a two-step process we're going to have to go through.
Absolutely. Behavioral health, that was a loss. This community desperately needs behavioral health facilities. So to me, it's a step-by-step. We need to tackle one thing at a time. I know we're going to be putting together several forums for everybody. Dr. Pooh and the physicians are getting together, and we're going to have public forums so people can come and give their input, and, you know, anybody is welcome to attend. We would love for as many people, as many ideas as we can get. So just know that everybody is diligently working. We were the last, as the employees of Twin Rivers, to know. You guys knew before we did. So and nobody in this room knew that that was happening. So with that being said, I mean, we're going to pull together and do the best we can. And I know this team, I've worked with this hospital for 9 years, and I know we'll pull together and make it right somehow. We were told as a group on Monday morning, this Monday morning.
Through an email that we were consolidating, when in fact they gave us our walking papers.
So, and with this consolidation, it's not like a lot of us are going to be employed there. So with that being said, I think it would probably be less than 10%. That's me guessing, but maybe not that much. So we're looking at a huge loss in more ways than one. Number one, our patients and our families are going to suffer from this. So.
Ladies' point's well taken. Those are some options that are already on the table. I would encourage you, you have ideas, groups have ideas, pass that on to Jim Griebing, our economic development, to your councilman, to your commissioners. Get your thoughts and ideas put into the mix. Out of this will come our solution. I couldn't even venture a guess as to what it will be, but it will be beneficial to Kennett, Dunklin County, and the citizens. That's our goal right now. And as Terry pointed out, a new hospital will be ideal, but we've got to get from today to something like that opening. And that's a pretty good time to bridge. But again, we'll figure it out. Yes, sir, you want to say something?
So I'm 32 years old. I've lived in Kennett and the surrounding area my entire life. In the 32 years I've been alive, Kennett's always been called a Band-Aid hospital by people that live around Kennett. But I can tell you this, when I was 13 and my dad had his heart attack, it took more than a Band-Aid. When my grandma went to the hospital because her potassium test levels were too high, it took more than a Band-Aid to level that out. When my appendix was about to explode, it took more than a Band-Aid to take care of that. It takes more than a Band-Aid. It takes each and every one of these people that work at that hospital to keep it running. So if you don't mind, would you stand if you work at the hospital? On behalf of me, my family, my dad, my grandma, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Unless someone else would like to speak. Yes, lady here. Thank you. But if someone else, we hear you loud and clear. We'll conclude this portion of the meeting. We appreciate you coming out. Oh, do you want to come up? Come on.
This is Ellis Morris. I believe in Canaan for my entire life. 5 years ago, I almost had a heart asthma attack. I didn't know where I was at, so I went to Canaan Hospital. They saved my life. Without this hospital, I wouldn't be here today. My mom almost had a diabetic attack. Without Canaan Hospital, she wouldn't be here today. This community, this is family right here. Without this hospital, where we gonna be at? Who gonna get shot? Where's gonna be a hospital at? Without Canaan Hospital, we will not survive. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
I've been here once already.
Okay.
But we got to think about how the school shootings are all over the country. You know, it's always filtering down to little towns, mass casualty. We have a tornado, we have the earthquake. We've got to have something here because those people in mass casualty accidents are not going to make it anywhere else.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Jim Griebing. I'm the Economic Development Director for the city. I've got a real fun job, as you can tell, but the thing that we've got important is appreciate all the employees and everybody coming out tonight to show us support because we're going through a long process of trying to figure out healthcare, as you know, is complicated. Being able to go out and figure out what to do about this situation. Can we get control of the hospital or bring a new group in? Can we penetrate this market with the new one? Or, you know, we certainly know that the solution provided by CHS to, quote, consolidate and ship everybody to keep a minimal effort here and everybody go to Poplar Bluff to support the nice mansion in the sky is not workable. That's not a solution for Kennett. Doesn't meet our needs, particularly when you consider the trade area that we're a long way from Poplar Bluff, and a lot of the people who come here as a regional hub, it's a wide area. So as we go through that, I can tell you the City Council and County Commission are committed to being a part of leading this effort. There's a small group in the community that's out researching options, who potential buyers, partners, programs are that are out there. Again, it's complicated, it's going to be tough. You know, we gotta hang in, but the biggest asset we have, we go through this process and try to bring a healthcare provider. We've got to have a hospital. Your testimonials have been very good tonight. We've got to have that in this community because we serve a region. We've got to have healthcare in order to properly serve this region of the Boot Hill. But the biggest asset we have is the people here at the hospital, the good people of Kennett, the staff in the hospital. We've got a resource to sell. We've got a great staff, great workforce. And that always is a buzzword in economic development today, is the workforce we have and the quality we have. So we've got the leadership, we've got the workforce, and with a lot of hard work and a little bit of patience and probably a lot of anxiety, we'll get this thing accomplished.
find a solution that works for Kennett. It's going to take time, and we got to all hang in there, but you know, when good people get knocked down or good communities get knocked down, they always find a way to get back up and go better, and that's where we're headed. It's just hang on. We're in for a rough ride. When we're done, we'll all be proud of what was accomplished and be able to look back and have a good solution long-term for Kennett and the Boot Heel area. So thank you all for coming.
No one else? We'll conclude this part of the meeting. Thank y'all.
Randy says take a break.
You think you need a break?
Yes, he needs
Take 5 or 10.